Hey everyone, welcome back to another devlog. This should be devlog number 2. Today, like I did mention in the previous one, this devlog would be a lot shorter compared to the others, mainly because I've been busy over the last month. But nonetheless, I want to talk to you over one of the biggest gameplay changes that I've been working on, a complete redesign of how the soul altar works. So if you watched the last devlog, you know that the altars are like one of the main ways to generate passive souls for your team. You capture one, you stand near it, it generates passive income for you and your team. Simple enough, but I kind of ran into this problem, and honestly it's something that I noticed pretty early on. It's the whole idea of that just standing near an altar isn't really fun. There's really no decision making, there's no skill expression, you're basically just waiting. And in a game where I want every player to kind of feel engaged at all times, that's just not good enough. So I went back to the drawing board, kind of thought on the whole soul altar, and kind of came up with a couple of ideas. So here's kind of what changed. Altars can now be damaged. The rifts around the map will periodically spawn waves of Malsorin. Now, they're pretty much just the name for like minions. So these minions will path directly towards whichever altar your team controls. They will only spawn when a team fully captures a altar. If there's nobody there to stop the minions, then they kind of reach the altar and start to damage it. Here's where it kind of gets interesting. The altar has a health system now. It can go from fully active all the way down to a completely lost state, and at each state it generates less and less souls for your team. So if you ignore your altar long enough, then you'll kind of stop generating entirely. So now there's kind of a reason to actually want to be at the altar. You're not really just standing there, you're actively defending it, right? Clearing waves, prioritizing targets, deciding when it's safe to rotate away. And obviously this stems off the idea of MOBAs where you're defending a tower. Very similar, right? With like kind of like a little own twist to it. So now on top of that, right, the rotation decision is actually meaningful now, because here's the thing. The altar doesn't instantly fall apart the moment you leave, it degrades over time. So you can make a quick rotation to contest a rift, an objective, or to just respond to a fight. If you come back fast enough, your altar is still in good shape. But if you're gone for too long, you come back to find it in a destroyed state, and you'll have to work to rebuild it. The back and forth of do I stay and defend, or do I rotate and risk the decay? That's kind of like the core tension I wanted to create. There's also a mechanic to stop one player from being stuck on altar duty the whole game. The longer you continuously defend an altar, the more the soul energy starts to drain you. You actually get weaker at defending it after about a minute and a half of non-stop duty, which means the best teams are the ones rotating defenders cleanly, right? Swapping in, swapping out, keeping each other fresh, right? The whole idea is to not have like your worst player just camping there, or just having your best player, right, sit back and farm, right? Outperforming one player, camping it. That's kind of like the design that I was going for. Also, contesting an altar is also more interesting now. Enemy teams can't just walk up to your altar and take it. If your altar is in good health, enemy presence just blocks the soul generation. They can deny you, but they can't take it away from you. However, if your altar has been neglected into a degraded state, enemies can actually channel a capture and flip it to their team. So there's kind of like this little meta strategy emerging where you could potentially abandon your own altar, let it decay, and commit everything to taking the enemies. Very high risk, but if it works out, you temporarily control both altars while the enemy kind of scrambles to recover. And then there's another mechanic called Soul Surge, which every few minutes of holding an altar in peak condition, it builds up a charge. When that charge is full, the altar enters a surge, double soul generation for a short window. Both teams can see on a minimap when a surge is about to happen, to kind of create these little predictable spike moments where everyone knows a fight is coming. The idea is that, right, do you stack up and defend your surge, or do you try and contest theirs? Do you ignore both and take a bigger objective while everyone's distracted? That's kind of like the whole decision making that I kind of wanted to go for. So the goal with this is to essentially allow every role on the map feel active and purposeful. Whether you're killing minions at the altar, rotating as a jungler, there should always be something meaningful to do, and the choice of what to do should always matter. Obviously, this is still in development. I'm building it out piece by piece and testing as I go, but I'm really happy with where the design is heading, and I think it's going to make matches feel a lot more dynamic than what we had before. I've actually added quite a bit of the design already. So finally, I want to finish off with a little teaser on the concept art for 2 champions. The first one is Avexia, Life Soul, kind of like a sustained fighter, one of the main characters actually in the storyline. The next is Alia, who's pretty much been seeing all over on the screen, right? It's the one I'm playtesting, the only one with abilities right now. So yeah, Alia, kind of like going for a mage, spider, assassin type of thing. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that's pretty much it for this devlog. For the next one, I plan on finishing up the soul altar, and of course I didn't forget about the map lockout. That's actually in the works. I just didn't want to show it today, so hopefully by the next one that's all done and I can kind of showcase that. But till then, I'll see you guys in the next one.